What's up, everybody? My name is Walter Hinchman. I'm CEO and co-founder of Wolverine. Today, we're going to be talking about creatine versus pre-workout. So, it's no secret, most people who go to the gym are really just after one thing, gains, right? Gains are synonymous with results, and if you're not working towards some type of goal, then why would you even bother working out at all? That's my opinion, right? That's right, so you actually wouldn't. So now just because you hit the gym a few days a week does not mean you're going to get the results that you want. Optimizing your nutrition and finding the right supplements to enhance your performance are also fundamental in helping you achieve those goals. But a lot of supplements can be confusing, especially when you're new to the gym. When it comes to creatine versus pre-workout, it's not really about an either-or situation. Creatine and pre-workout supplements can both be extremely beneficial and effective to your performance. But knowing what they do and what the differences are will help you decide which one you need to optimize your training and performance. So first, let's get into creatine and exactly what creatine does. Creatine is a combination of 3 different amino acids, methionine, arginine, and glycine. Creatine is naturally synthesized by the body through the liver and the kidneys, yet the majority is stored in your muscle tissue. Creatine forms your body's natural energy source, which is called adenosine triphosphate, or ATP. When you supplement with creatine, you can help boost and create more ATP so that you can have more energy-powered performance. Studies have shown that creatine can improve athletic performance, leading to greater gains in strength, speed, and muscle growth. So that's why it's one of the most popular supplements of all time. But with so many different types of creatine, studies have shown how there are no real performance differences amongst those different versions of creatine when it comes to fueling muscle growth and performance, besides the pH-corrected form of creatine, which is called Kre-Alkalyn. One of the problems with creatine monohydrate is that it requires what's called a loading phase. Studies have shown that in order to actually work, creatine requires loading at least 10 to 15 grams per day for at least up to 10 days. So as you can imagine, if you're going to be using a ton of creatine, right, before it even starts working. The reason why you have to load it is due to the poor absorption rate of creatine monohydrate. Kre-Alkalyn is a pH-corrected form of creatine and does not require a loading phase. Kre-Alkalyn has a neutral pH, making it more bioavailable and solving for those negative side effects often associated with creatine monohydrate, such as bloating, water retention, and cramping. Studies have also shown that Kre-Alkalyn is the only alternative creatine type of creatine to creatine monohydrate that demonstrates superior performance outcomes and measures in bioavailability, endurance, strength, and those performance outcomes as compared to normal creatine monohydrate or your traditional creatine. So let's get into what exactly is pre-workout and what does pre-workout do, or what are pre-workout's intended benefits. So pre-workout supplements are a combination of different ingredients created to improve energy, strength, and endurance. Pre-workout can be a very beneficial supplement to improve performance and give you the extra bit of motivation and boost in energy that you may need to smash out more reps and kind of go harder in the gym, right? A common problem found within most pre-workout supplements, however, is that they do not contain enough of the ingredients to be truly effective. Oftentimes, pre-workouts contain what's called a proprietary blend. Proprietary blends only list the combined amount of all the ingredients used in that product or within that blend, and they do not disclose how much of each ingredient the product actually contains. A large majority of supplement companies and manufacturers typically use proprietary blends for several reasons, right? Number one, most companies claim that using those blends will prevent competing brands from learning the precise amounts of their products so that they can't copy them. 2, a lot of the times where they're tricking consumers, right, into hiding the facts that their product actually contains only trace amounts of the active ingredients listed on the nutrition label, and are instead mostly fillers or very, very small doses of those ingredients that you truly need. Another reason why they do this is that it creates hype, right? So marketing something different, such as a new and improved formula with new ingredients that you've never heard of, all right, it's going to help you or persuade you to buy that product as opposed to buying something else that maybe does not have those type of ingredients. It also reduces production costs, right? Giving manufacturers a bigger margin on products and making more money. That's the reasons why they're using those blends. So before you go purchase a pre-workout supplement, take a look at the supplement facts on the back of the product. If you see a combination of ingredients listed under a blend that does not list a specific amount per ingredient, do not buy it because you're not going to know exactly what's in it, and you're not going to know if it's going to be effective for your training or improving your training outcomes. So only purchase those supplements that provide complete transparency in labeling. Otherwise, you're most likely getting ripped off and throwing your money right down the drain. So let's talk about what are the correct doses then that you need for those pre-workout ingredients, right? Some of the most popular pre-workout ingredients are listed, or some of the most popular pre-workout ingredients include, right, citrulline malate, beta-alanine, betaine anhydrous, L-theanine, carnitine, agmatine, taurine, natural ingredients such as beetroot or pomegranate, and other things like ginseng or actogen. So making your own pre-workout, stacking with standalone ingredients like beta-alanine, citrulline malate, Kre-Alkalyn, right? It's a very optimal way to increase your strength and performance by getting a very full and high maximum clinical dose instead of the sprinkled doses that most pre-workout supplements are giving you. So benefits of pre-workout, right, is going to range from increasing energy. It can enhance your mental focus. It can increase your body's natural nitric oxide, which is going to equal better pumps, better oxygen and blood flow, increases your strength. Pre-workouts can also improve your overall athletic performance if you're getting it in the right dose. So let's talk about, what about the pre-workouts that actually contain creatine, right? Because a lot of those pre-workouts do contain creatine. So it's not a very effective way of gaining performance gains when you're adding creatine into your pre-workout with monohydrate. Studies have shown that creatine monohydrate requires that loading phase, right, before it's truly effective. So your muscle tissue needs to be saturated with creatine phosphate before it can actually be used as a viable fuel source. Therefore, you need a dose of 10 to 15 grams per day for 10 days before it even starts to work. All pre-workout supplements are only going to contain around 2 to 3 to maybe 5 at max, right? Maximum dose of creatine monohydrate at best. So if you want to improve your strength, speed, and power, then your best bet is going to add a Kre-Alkalyn, right? As a standalone ingredient to your supplement stack or pre-workout stack, not monohydrate, and not having a pre-workout or buying a pre-workout that has creatine monohydrate already in it. So Kre-Alkalyn is going to be immediately absorbed, which means there's no loading phase we talked about before. It's also not converted into the toxic byproduct creatinine. So that's why you're not going to need as much of it, and you can get away with just having a 3-gram dose, right, per serving, as opposed to a 10-gram dose with creatine monohydrate, and no associated negative side effects. Some other things and questions that generally come up with creatine versus pre-workout, right, is going to be, can you take a creatine and pre-workout together? We kind of already covered that. Yes, you can take them together, right? Adding a standalone creatine to your pre-workout is directly going to stimulate ATP, give you more energy, more power, more better output of strength. However, just make sure you're not buying a pre-workout with that creatine already in it, unless there's a very high dose of monohydrate, so that you can get those performance benefits. Is creatine good for a pre-workout? Yes, creatine can be taken as a standalone supplement. However, it does need to be loaded, like we've talked about. If you're taking Kre-Alkalyn or another different type of creatine, usually those do not have to be loaded, but yes, it is a great pre-workout ingredient. Is creatine with pre-workout essentially bad, or is it not as good as taking them alone? So pre-workout supplements do contain creatine sometimes. However, it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? It just won't be as effective as loading it by itself or as a standalone supplement. So to wrap things up here, right, guys, gains are never compromised, or they're always going to be, there's 3 fundamental things, right, that can really make up your gains, and that's going to be nutrition, training, and supplementation, right? Creatine will definitely help you build more strength and muscle mass, and can help you improve those performance gains with high-intensity training or any other training or modality that you're getting into. Pre-workouts can also be equally as effective in driving more energy and endurance, so long as they have the correct doses and the right proven ingredients in the formula. If you want to optimize your training and exercise performance, supplementing with both can definitely help you crush your goals and set some new PRs in the gym. So, guys, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you want any more information about supplements, nutrition, training, health, wellness, whatever it may be, go to swolverine.com and visit the blog. And until next time.